crowd of children had gathered around me. They were pointing at me and laughing. Hey, how many cakes do you eat a day? 100? I burst into tears, and when I was about to run away, a boy stood in front of me. It was Charlie.
Leave her alone. Do you not have anything else better to do?
At that moment, I started believing that fairy tale princes were real.
Hi, my name is Leah. From that day on, I fell in love with Charlie. Of course, no one knew about it. I mean, just look at us. Charlie was one of the most popular kids at school. I was his complete opposite. No wonder, with a body like mine, you can't imagine how much I wanted to lose weight and change. But instead of going on a diet, my friend Mandy and I cooked desserts. We even dreamed of opening a pastry shop one day. It seemed like life would always be like that. But one day, everything changed. I came home from school, and Mom broke the unexpected news. Leah, we're moving to Korea. I was stunned. What did she say? To that guy that you met on Tinder? In-sung is a wonderful man. Oh, I'm sure you two will get along. You know, I visited him several times, and everything has gone great. I didn't want to go at all. What about Mandy and Charlie? The unknown scared me, but nobody was asking for my opinion. Mom bought us tickets, and a few days later, we were in Seoul. There was another surprise waiting for me in the new house, a stepsister.
Hi, I'm Jisoo.
Wow, she was a real beauty. Standing next to her, I felt even more insecure than usual. But Jisoo turned out to be nice and friendly. Talking to her was easy, and I soon relaxed. Thinking about my new school still terrified me, though.
Don't worry, I'll help you.
Her words cheered me up, and the next day, we went to school together.
This is my sister Leah. Please take care of her.
Being the center of attention was unusual and scary. Everyone was staring at me, not only in the classroom, but also in the hallways. It's all because I'm fat.
Nonsense. You just have a European appearance.
One day, I went into Jisoo's room. Who's that girl? An ugly figure, crooked teeth, and... Wait, Jisoo? While I was looking at the photo in surprise, she came up behind me. It was pretty awkward. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to rummage through your things. Is that really you?
I wasn't always a beauty. I had to work on myself a lot.
Could a person really change that much? Jisoo inspired me. Do you think I could change too? I really want to lose weight, but I don't have the willpower.
Of course you can. That's it. Tomorrow, we'll start going to the gym together.
I didn't expect it to be easy, but I had no idea just how hard it really would be. I felt like a black sheep there. Everyone looked so slim and fit. I didn't know how to do anything. After just exercises, I wanted to lie down and die. But Jisoo turned out to be a ruthless coach and didn't go easy on me. Her father was a nutritionist, and he developed a proper nutrition plan for me. The main rule was no desserts. Could you imagine? I thought about Charlie all the time, and that gave me strength. He'd be so surprised if he saw the new, slim me. But at night, I couldn't stand it. I quietly snuck into the kitchen and took a piece of cake from the refrigerator. So delicious. Oh, I was so scared I froze with my mouth wide open.
Leah, go to bed right now. You'll be working off every calorie tomorrow.
She went so hard on me in the gym the next day I could barely walk afterwards. I couldn't help myself again a week later. No one was home. I made cakes, lay down on the bed, and I turned on a cooking show. But before I could even eat half of it, someone came home. I hid the cakes in the first place I could think of, under my pillow. Jisoo didn't see them, but then I had to wash the stains that night. And the most humiliating thing happened at the gym later. One day, I got so carried away, I almost broke the equipment. Everyone started laughing at me. That's it. I can't do it anymore.
Don't you dare give up. You will succeed.
As you can see, Jisoo helped me a lot. Without her support, I definitely would have given up. Gradually, working out became easier, and I had fewer cheat days. At school, students were constantly staring at Jisoo and I. They'd already grown used to my European appearance, so she got all the attention. A few months had passed since our move. One day, Jisoo and I were sitting at home and watching TV. I'm putting in so much effort, but I will never look like that.
Are you kidding me? You look cool.
Unexpectedly, she suggested that I put on makeup and do my hair. Then she gave me her clothes. My own had long become too big for me. Her clothes, however, fit me perfectly. Jisoo led me to a mirror and I couldn't believe my eyes. I saw my reflection every day, but only then did I realize exactly how much I'd changed. I really had lost a lot of weight. The next day at school, several girls came up to me. They were holding a poster with my picture on it. Could you sign it for me? I was shocked. They were asking me for an autograph? It turned out that I had a fan club at school. Everyone had been watching my transformation. So it hadn't been Jisoo that they'd been looking at in the hallways? It might be hard to believe, but I turned out to have a lot of fans. Even the most handsome guy in the school, called Kong Soo, invited me for a walk. Just imagine, I went on a date with Kong Soo. Jisoo, though, gave me a weird look. Yeah, congratulations. Then the inter-school sports competitions were announced. Hey, Leah, join us! I had never participated in competitions like that, but I agreed. At first, everything was going well, but then problems began. I was walking on stilts and had already pulled ahead when... Damn it! How could the stilts break? Of course, I came in last. The next task was jumping on bouncy balls, and at some point my ball started to deflate. It turned out there was a hole in it. The unfairness of it all made me want to scream, but then the tug-of-war began. Our whole team took part in it, and I'd been going to the gym for a couple of months, so my arms were actually pretty strong. In the end, our school won thanks to me. That evening, Jisoo and I discussed the competition. I just don't understand what happened to the stilts and the ball. I think it's your haters. There's a lot of people who envy you. After the competition, I became even more popular. I was practically a school idol. My fan club just kept growing, as did the number of my haters. They even had a group on social media, and they constantly did nasty things to me. For example, they took pictures of me from horrible angles and then sent them to the group chat. They also made a collage of some of my old photos, wrote something funny on it, and pinned it to the board. Thanks to Kong Soo, it didn't stay there long. Of course, I was worried, but over time, I got used to it, and I decided I just wouldn't pay any attention to them. I could be mean too. I walked with my head held high. If someone tried to bother me, I just immediately put them in their place. Soon, I realized I was much better than other people. One day, some ugly girl came up to me. Would you mind if I got your autograph? Looking like that? Do something about your appearance before coming and talking to me. In the evening, a video of that exact scene went viral at school. My haters didn't miss an opportunity to make me look bad. Some of my fans switched and became my haters. Well, I didn't care. I was the best anyway. I think you've gotten a swollen head. You shouldn't be acting the way you are. I'm an idol. I'm the one who decides what's right and wrong. Kong Soo turned out to be one of my most devoted fans. You are the coolest girl I know. One day, we were sitting in a cafe near the school. All of a sudden, Jisoo walked by us. She saw us through the panoramic window and froze. Then, she quickly turned around and walked away. It was kind of weird, but everything else was going great. One evening, though, I was in for a surprise. Leah, we're going back to the States. In-sung was offered a job at a prestigious clinic. What? On the one hand, I didn't want to leave at all. I was popular. Even having haters was a sign of my success. But on the other hand, I would be able to meet Charlie again. He would see how much I'd changed. In any case, again, no one cared about my opinion. And soon we were back in the States. When I showed up at my old school, no one recognized me. Wow, who's that cool girl? She's so beautiful. But that was only the beginning. Leah, come to the blackboard. What? That's our Leah? It can't be. During a break, a girl from another class recognized me. She showed everyone my profile on social media. Yeah, it's our Leah. She was an idol in Seoul. Of course, I immediately got new followers and fans. The coolest guys at school wanted to be friends with me, even though they used to bully me. The only thing that upset me was Charlie was sick and wasn't there to see my triumph. I decided I would text him. I didn't think he would reply, but then I got a text back. Just imagine, we were texting each other. I was really talking to the guy of my dreams. Mandy called me aside during a break one day. She hadn't changed at all. It was a nightmare. She was so unremarkable. My birthday's coming up, remember? Let's bake a cake together. I'm not interested. I haven't baked in a while, and I also don't eat desserts. By the way, you shouldn't either. Just look at yourself. But will you at least come? Why would I? It's not cool enough for me. Our classmates saw it all and started making fun of Mandy. I was basking in the rays of glory, everyone looking at me with admiration, until someone started messing with me again. I opened the school website to see photos of myself before the transformation. They were awful. I had to run to the principal and demand they be removed. Then I went to the gym class. Everything was going fine, but then, when I wanted to change, I discovered that my clothes had been ruined. Some idiots had doused them with ketchup. I spent a lot of time washing them, and I was late for the next lesson. Of course, I got in trouble. If you're late one more time, I won't let you take the next test. And at that moment, Mandy giggled from the back of the class. What if it had all been her doing? Of course, she was taking revenge for that time I'd humiliated her. I wanted to talk to her, but she left very quickly after school. The next day, Charlie came back. I'd prepared for a meeting very carefully, and I made sure I looked absolutely perfect. Before classes, I decided to get coffee in the school cafeteria. I had just picked up my mug when Mandy walked by me. We ran into each other and... Ugh! I watched in horror as stains spread all over my clothes.
Oh, sorry, it was an accident.
Was it? Just admit you wanted to get back at me. You're a nobody, okay? At that moment, Charlie came into the cafeteria. He was standing in the doorway and looking at me with disgust and disappointment. Damn it! It was all because of how I looked. I quickly ran to the bathroom and tried to clean myself up. I wanted to kill Mandy, but I decided I would leave that for later. I had to find Charlie. I spent the day showing off in front of him. I emphasized my new status, acting like a queen and laughing at all the nerds. The weird thing was, he didn't come up to me. After school, I approached him myself. Why are you avoiding me? Leah, what did you turn into? You used to be a nice girl, and now you're just mean. I was so happy when you texted me. I liked who you were before you moved to Korea. But now I don't recognize you at all. His confession left me speechless. I came home upset. I was going to study to get my mind off things, but I realized I'd forgotten my textbook at school. I went to Jisoo's room and took hers when a picture suddenly fell out of it. It was a photo of Kong-soo. On the other side was written, my crush. Wait, was Jisoo in love with Kong-soo? A door suddenly slammed shut behind me. My sister had come into the room. You have a crush on Kong-soo? Why didn't you tell me? Jisoo looked at me and didn't say anything. And that was when I understood everything. All the troubles I'd had both at school and competitions. Mandy had nothing to do with it. It was all you. You wanted to get revenge because I stole your crush, even though I didn't even want him.
You're obsessed with your popularity. Look around you. You have a lot of haters. Yes, I was angry because of Kong-soo, but I never did anything to you.
Of course, I didn't believe her. We had a fight and stopped talking to each other. I felt awful. Even being popular no longer made me happy. I suddenly realized that popularity hadn't actually done me any good. Charlie was right. What had I turned into? I laughed at unpopular kids, even though I used to be one of them. And anyway, I liked desserts, not sports. I had even wanted to open a pastry shop. Or rather, Mandy and I had wanted to. I'd lost my friend because of my own stupidity. And I had lost Charlie too. I got upset, bought a bunch of sweets and ate them. The next day, I made an Instagram post dedicated to Mandy, with a photo of us together and apologies. Then I baked a cake and I went over to her place. I'm sorry, I treated you terribly. Mandy was still upset with me, but the cake and the public apology helped her to forgive me. From that day on, I started acting different. I promoted those that I'd hurt previously on social media and helped and protected anyone who needed it. Because of that, the cool guys started treating me awful again. Oh, you got lame again. Don't come near us. Actually, Leah's great. She's doing everything right. After school, he asked me out for coffee. Things got better, except Jisoo and I still hadn't made up. One day, something changed. I was scrolling through social media when suddenly I saw a chat of my haters. the one that had been created in Korea. I used a fake account to join them and read the chat of my former classmates. They had all been discussing how to set me up. A couple of the girls had come up with the idea to ruin the stilts in the ball. Had I actually made a mistake? Jisoo actually had nothing to do with it. I remembered how much she had helped me after I'd moved. She'd brought me to the gym and supported me, and she was too kind and proud to stoop to being mean. I immediately went home and I tried to apologize, but Jisoo didn't want to talk to me. Girls, it's good that you're here. In-sung took a few days off, and we're going to Korea for the holidays. I was thinking of ways to make up with Jisoo, and I soon came up with an idea. When we arrived in Seoul, I called Kong-soo and I suggested that we meet. Then I convinced my mom to send my sister and I to the store. There was a cafe in the shopping center we went to. I had already booked a table there in advance to set up their date.
What are you up to?
Go. Someone's waiting for you in there. While they were sitting in the cafe, I went shopping. I was so pleased with myself. But soon, Jisoo returned. Huh? Why'd you leave so quick?
I'm not interested in Kong-soo anymore. I spent so much time pining for him, but he never noticed me. He missed his chance.
I was so upset. I was hoping I'd be able to help her, and then we could make up, but she suddenly took my hand.
But thank you anyway. I appreciate it.
So you forgive me? After the holidays, Mandy and I started making desserts again. We're gonna apply to a culinary school next year. By the way, I started gaining a little bit of weight again, but Charlie likes it. And we're also dating. Life at school is hard. I still have a lot of haters, but it won't be long before I go to college. I've realized how important it is to love yourself no matter what. After all, everyone is beautiful in their own way. What do you think? Tell me in the comments down below.